Hello, hello, I'm Kads, and welcome to today's video. So the portal is aligned with the lovely red hue, but that is not the type of shard we're going to be pulling today, but nonetheless, we are going to be pulling shards in this video. So there are actually a lot of events going on simultaneously right now, but one of them is probably worth it, and the other is definitely not worth it. So there is technically a 2x on primals, but it's only for epics and legendaries and not mythical champions. So that's generally speaking not worth your time or effort, but nonetheless, there is a 10x for getting, Karosa, the current or the latest new mythical from the Demon Spawn, obviously featured in the event dungeon. Again, that could be worth it if you're a Whale Kraken and you're really keen to get her in particular. I haven't really seen much of her, doing anything in arena per se, but nonetheless, whales and krakens who want to collect them all, that is an option that you can chase her because it's a lot less likely there aren't that many mythicals in the pool overall. But for the rest of us, this is just a standard weekend summon rush progressive chance with the chances to get some random champions here from, I don't even know if there's a connection between them, but there is a lot of supports. Maybe that's the theme. I'm not really sure. But yeah, lots of supporting champions. You can see here my selection, of course, Elva on board, my number 3 on my wish list. So we'll see if we can get her today. And then Stag Knight, he's currently at +3, but getting him the +4 would be handy just for extra stats. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Why are we interested in pulling at all? I mentioned this a little bit in my Fusion Plan video that I put out earlier this morning, but essentially there is this summon rush. There's also a bonus summon rush, which I suspect to be a sacred POGO pull one get one event. And normally what I would do for the Fusion is skip this summon rush entirely and fully participate in the second one, or partially participate in the second one while also doing the champion chase. But as we saw, there is an Elva up for grabs, and as we'll discuss in a little bit, my Mercy, it is more strategic to try and go for a champion I want versus 2 champions at random, which just has a lower chance of being the ones that I want. But yeah, the milestone here is only 3,000 points, so 6 sacreds is all that we're going to be pulling today. They'll also get some gems and some energy along the way, which is pretty nice, and I get some relic materials, but not too keen on those. But nonetheless, more chances to get relics is always good, I guess. But yeah, the main strategy point to discuss here is going to be my Mercy. So let me pull that up on the screen here. And as you can see, we are 6 sacreds into Mercy. Now I've been holding on to this since the maybe 2 weeks ago or so, where there was a summon rush that I participated in, or I guess the last fusion that I participated in. But yeah, ideally, again, this would be saved, or this Mercy would be preserved for a POGO event. Getting 2 for the price of 1 legendary, which is always very lucrative. But in this case, we're going to roll the dice and try to go for the Elva, because it's a small chance to get her. It's 6-ish% on the 15x, but the chance to get her, even if we get 2 legendaries during a POGO event, would be even smaller because there's 200 or something legendaries in the pool right now. So it would be just 1 in 200 or 1 in 100, I guess, if we get a legendary, that one of them would be Elva. So the odds are higher during the 10 or during the 15x than they are during a POGO event with the raw odds. So I think it's worth the gamble in this case. But again, there's always the chance that we can get bad RNG. I can pull 6 sacreds right now. We don't get a legendary at all. We don't even get the Elva or a chance at the Elva, and then we could still participate in the sacred POGO, assuming it does happen sometime next week. Popping over to the portal, let's take a look at the overall shard count. My account at the moment: 625 on the ancients, 226 on the voids, 37 on the primals, and then 54 on the sacreds, which of course we'll be dipping into today. We already talked about my progressive chance selections, and in terms of who we're looking for, obviously Elva. Not enough said there, but along the way, of course, I do expect to get a decent amount of epics, so any and all epics for empowerment will be useful, namely Stag Knight, of course, being the one that we selected here as well. So without further ado, let's dive right into the pulls. We've got a lot of space, we got a decent amount of cash, and hopefully we can get some pretty decent luck here. This better be worth it. No, I'm just kidding. No, I hope it is worth it, is more my mentality. Oh, right out of the gate we get, it was worth it. It was worth it. We gambled and it paid off. There you go. Okay, this is probably the 4th time that I've hit the progressive chance event, but there you go. We are in Mercy, so only 1 sacred was required to hit this, and honestly, I could stop. Now it probably doesn't make sense, but we hit it when we got her. Sweet. That's awesome. This is a huge upgrade for me. I've been wanting her for the longest time. This is one of my biggest regrets in the game, believe it or not. 2 or 3 years ago when they offered her up as a guaranteed, that was the first time they stepped up between 15 sacreds for a guaranteed to 20, and I was just like, nah, I don't want to spend 20 sacreds. I have a Pytheon. and he works for me, and I don't really need much more. And this is long before Chimera and all these other, and Hydra came out. And honestly, I really underestimated her passive and how annoying and tricky it can be to play around with her just veiling people all the time. And yeah, I regretted it not going for it way back when, and I obviously had enough sacreds to do it at the time. But anyways, it's Elva Autumnborn. We finally have her on the account. This is a huge win for yours truly. But on the A1, she plays continuous heal on the ally with the lowest HP. She has this beautiful ability here where she can full cleanse, block debuffs, increase speed on across the entire team. Great heal on a 3-turn cooldown. Although oddly, if you don't book her, there's only a chance that she cleanses, which is very strange. But nonetheless, it is how she works. And then this is such a strong revive here. But 3-turn cooldown, single target revive, but it's 40% HP, 50% turn meter, and then increased attack and increased defense. But perfectly what you need for, presumably a nuker who has died. But more importantly, as we get to the passive, at the end of her turn, she'll place the veil on the ally with the lowest HP. And at the start of her turn, she heals everyone by 10% of their max HP, kind of like a Silda Drake's, kind of like a Siphi. And so the synergy here with the passive is that when you revive someone, usually they're going to be, lower HP than her, and she's going to effectively also put them under a veil on top of the increased attack, increased defense. And, they're also veiled, so they can't be attacked. But even then, just having her veil someone every time she takes a turn is very annoying, especially in PvP and even PvE, to be honest, because you attack her and she veils herself, and then you can't do anything about her cleanse potential unless you have AoE attacks. And so she can be very tricky in a lot of situations, and she's very strong in a protection set. So that is what I'm definitely going to be running her in for the purposes of Chimera as well as Hydra. So this is a huge win for me, speed and all battles aura as well. So super happy about that. But nonetheless, we still have 5 more sacreds to go. But hey, that was totally worth it. I'm already satisfied with this session, and no matter what else happens, if we don't get a single stagnite, this was a huge win. So the gamble paid off. But Wuzgar, not that great of an epic, but he does have a decent amount of healing on the A1, but not much to hit. I think he has like reflect damage, counterattack, so maybe that can help you a little bit in like Fire Knight versions in the Cursed City, but other than that, he's not really that strong. Arwid Quivergrass, she's a pretty hard-hitting epic for the Sylvan Watchers if we need a DPS, and that faction definitely struggles for DPSs, but the few DPS they do have, they're all Force Affinity for some reason. So she is just one of them, so she can hit decently hard. I think she's okay if you really do need her, but she's not going to be crazier than like a Mistridor Dahi or like a Pan the Bowhorn. I always say Blowhorn, but Pan the Bowhorn. Masked Fearmonger, by contrast, is absolutely dog. He's a terrible champion. Nothing to say about him. I think we have 2 more to go. Oh my god, we got a second legendary. Okay, well, that's unexpected. There's only a 1 in 16 chance that we get a legendary. We got 2 in 5 here, which is pretty darn impressive. So we got a Trunda. For me, this is a duplicate, but I'm sure a lot of people would be happier with a Trunda. But of course, she's still well known for her broken abilities in Hydra and whatnot with the A2. The A3 got buffed or reworked, shall we say, but the stun HP burn combo is pretty strong as well. But yeah, stun on the A1 as well. But she's still strong. She's still good. I think she's still technically the best Hydra champion in the game, and she has that niche. I still think that her ability needs to be nerfed, just saying. But nonetheless, that is her power, or one of her areas of power. But for me, duplicate for Faction Guardians for Dwarves, which is kind of lacking for me. So we'll take a look at that a bit later. And then the last one here should be number 6. I think we started with 54 sacreds. I hope we've been tracking. Don't want to waste these. But Sinesha, pretty underwhelming champion nowadays, but she is still good in a stun set AB on the A1. She can do a single target warlord ability, so to speak, put the target skills fully on cooldown with just one person, and also heals. And then she has one of the strongest heals in the game. It's an HP balance, but it is on a 5-turn cooldown. So if my math is correct, we should have gotten or pulled 6 sacreds and have exactly 3,000 points. So perfect. That is the goal for the day. But honestly, we hit the super goal for the day. We hit the absolute super goal for the day, procking the Progress Chance event. And for anyone curious, the odds of that happening are around 6.5%. So it is quite unlikely. There's a 93% chance that we could have gotten any of the legendary, especially as shown by the Trunda, subsequent Trunda. But nonetheless, hey, I'm happy. We procced it. We've missed on her a many times, and we finally hit. So I think this is probably the 5th or 6th time I've pulled during a progressive chance event and going for Elva, and maybe like half of those where we actually got a legendary. Some of them has just been like pulling towards Mercy, but I digress. So yeah, Elva Otterborn, the newest red dot on my account. Super happy. You know, it's been 2 or 3 years in the making since, again, that guaranteed event that I regret skipping, but nonetheless, regardless, she's here, and I'm super stoked about that. So she'll be next on the docket to be maxed and put into action in a couple of weeks, I guess, for Chimera and for Hydra purposes. So yeah, I guess that's kind of it for this session. This is definitely the highlight of the day. We reset Mercy twice effectively, so if there is a POGO event, Sacred POGO event next week, we're basically SOL for that one. So I'm disincentivized now to participate in the bonus summon rush for the fusion. So there was always on the table. Again, there's still the chance that we could have pulled 6 Sacreds and gotten all epics. It's unlikely, but it could have happened. But I'm definitely happy, of course, with this result. So, but yeah, so no POGO for me, I guess, is kind of the moral of the story here. But nonetheless, who's complaining? I'm definitely not. Let me know in the comment section down below if you were also pulling during this summon rush. I definitely think it's probably, again, not the best opportunity for most people. I think your best bet is pulling during the second summon rush, but it kind of depends what you're going for, what you need, where's your Mercy, what champions you're looking for. And so, like I said, in my case, this gamble definitely made sense and it definitely paid off. But yeah, if you did pull and you got something cool as well, let me know in the comment section down below. As always, if you did enjoy this video, then be sure to hit that like button down below. It really does help out the channel, and feel free to hit the subscribe button down below if you enjoy the content overall on the channel for more content just like this one in the future. Thanks for watching and have a good one.